All right, so we're started on this. So we're gonna go ahead and get going. We got about a minute, but that's okay. Um, let's take a look at the news. So we do have there's quite a bit of news, guys. Like I mean, you can see just across the whole world, right? As far as from a U.S. standpoint, we do have a lot of news coming up here at pretty much 8:30. So we should see some pretty good movement. The PC price index is going to be a pretty good mover of the markets. So. Just a lot of other news, coming through 10 a.m. Here, you got a little bit of news. Not, if you're new to understanding the news, just all you got to do is understand, the two heads are going to move it a little bit, but really what you want to look for is these three heads, right? So when you have these three heads, that's typically a more impactful news. So we did have our news come out. Let's see if the site has updated it yet. Not quite yet. You can see, let's see how the markets are reacting. They are dropping, so must not have been very good news. So those of you guys that were on my live last night, as you guys know, I trade options. We had talked about the short call that was played right here and how that double top was going to play out. It actually ended up like a triple top kind of, and so you can see we talked about pre-market opening around 410 or so 409, and you can see we're right at 410. So whether that'll hold come 9:30, that just depends on news, right? If the news was bad, then we're going to fall lower. We'll be probably closer to 409. But if the news was good, then we're going to pump. So you can see it looks like the news so far has not played out very well. So as we are continuing to drop. So let's see if this feed updated yet. Not quite yet. So we'll check back on that. So let's just get into the TA, what I see today. So we did have a great pump on the SPX, right? I marked these. This is part of what we put out in the insights today. And, we did get this pump here off of our support level. We did get a call on the long there. But I warn people, keep an eye on this shoulder here because you can see this peak here. And then you have the higher peaks. And then you have the lower peaks, right? And so all we did is we retested the previous side's peak. This could lead to another potential downtrend, just kind of like following this side like this, right? So just keep an eye on that. Obviously, news is going to impact where that goes or how that works. So we'll watch that today. Now, we do have, I was watching, we do have kind of a bull flag forming here. And it looks like the SPX is kind of pumping a little now. So if this bull flag does break out, then that's likely to come up to retest this. Could put us into a double top situation. If the news is good enough, the bull flag will pump up, break above this, and then we're looking to retest these previous highs right here. So that's kind of what I'm watching on the stock side of it. Looks like pre-market's pumping up now, so it could have been a pullback on the news drop and then a reversal there. So, but we'll keep an eye on that and see where it opens. People are just taking their positions. Yesterday you guys have seen, if you're trading in the room, we have, if you look here, I mean, just crazy bearish divergence, from our push up. I mean, this is like just so massive. So I'm expecting some form of a pullback. Again, news, if it came out good, could push us north a little bit. But the pullback will come. Keep an eye on the dollar. This is what I put out in the room. I was kind of following this falling channel here, at least trend line anyways. And so if we break above this trend line, right, and retest a support, then the move north should be pretty drastic. Looking at it right now, you can see it looks like we rejected off of it, right? So it tried to break it and now it's rejecting. That's likely what's pushing the market north a little bit. Looking at here, I mean, it's kind of testing this previous area of resistance. So this is just a big area to watch, guys, especially on the Dixie, because if this area breaks, this is going to break north, which is going to drive things south really in a big way. But if this continues to reject off of here, then it's almost certain that we're going to come back down to this range, which will push the markets further north. So just keep an eye on this range. It's going to be a really big range. So we are temporarily overbought too. So So let's see, let's delete some of these arrows here. Let's take a look at the VIX. So when you look at the VIX, I was following this green line here. It looks like we did break that. When you come onto this side and you know, zoom out to the grand scheme of things, right? We did create a little bit of a lower low yesterday here, and then it recovered. Now we're creating a higher low, right? So just keep an eye on you know, kind of this potential. If you go to like the 4 hour or maybe probably the 6 hour, you know, you could be forming a kind of a larger double bottom, right? But at the end of the day, you know, there's just so much support here at this level, anywhere between 16 and 17 on the VIX. So just keep that in mind when you're placing your scalps. So total market cap, I put this out. These are kind of the key areas to watch, just like on the SPX, right? This black line or this side shoulder is a key area, because if we break above that shoulder, then the break north could be pretty big. If you come over here, you can kind of see also, just like the SPX, right? We kind of have like a bull flag going right here. So just kind of your channel. You know, with this peak here, it makes it more of a flag, right? Could arguably be a falling wedge, but regardless, it's the same, right? So to get this invalidated, I would like to see a break below this EMA here. That would make me bearish. Until then, you know, we could have a pullback and then a push north, right? Because as long as we're above this, right, it's hard to go super bearish. So we did place this channel here because we do have our two touches now that we can. So a push north could come up here and reject off of this, driving us lower. So that's kind of where I'm watching on the market cap. And then Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been just a little all over the place. You know, you guys see, and in the end of the day, we're rising, right? We're going north. You know, it's still even here, right? This is what caused that big pump here, because we created still kind of a higher low. We didn't get a lower low like people were anticipating here. A lower low here would have probably dropped us down to the 25 mark, but we kept a higher low and we double bottomed. If you zoom into it, you can see. So from this standpoint, right, you came up and then you had your retest of support here, causing us to explode. We did hit off our trend line, and then that rejected us hard, which then hit our support and caught us back north. So typically those are, like we talked about yesterday, these are market maker moves, just clearing liquidity. So we went sideways for a little bit, and then we ended up pushing that north. Now we kind of have that channel. So you can see this was the channel I was originally following. Looks like it's stretching out a little more like this now. So we're still in that channel, right? This is probably the channel I'll be watching on Bitcoin today. If we continue to reject off 29,471, then we're likely to come down to about 29,074 again for a retest, and then we could see a breakout around 29,362. But keep in mind, you have this orange line. So let me show you this orange line. If you go to the daily, this is how we got that orange line. So it's kind of like you got your peak here, your peak here. It does break through this, so I'm not sure how valid it's gonna hold. But the reason why I like it is not only do you have that, but you have it kind of held the rejection here, which dropped pretty dramatic, right? And then we're testing it again. So there's a chance that, you know, we could kind of retest this line, and then that would be what drives us down to that 25K range. So that's kind of what I'm watching, you know, on that line. It seems pretty valid to me. As far as the upper channel, you know, this is still the line that I think we'll continue to follow if we do have breakout, you know, north. So that's just the channel we've been following. We still have to retest this area here. You can see we did have this line that was pretty valid, which gave us the signal we were going to flip here. We had a super bullish candle formation. I would still like to see a fall to the 25K or even the 200 on the EMA on the daily, so which would be about 24 or 2 to have us continue north in a stronger way. So if we just continue this path up like this, I always feel sad for people, right? Because what happens when we continue too strong like this, people start buying and buying and buying and buying, and then guess what? The fall does this. I mean, it just comes so fast because the higher it goes without a healthy, pullback or gap fill, the just more unstable it is, and the quicker it's going to fall down. So, people tend to get wrecked on those type of movements, right? So, but as far as my high, if you're in a um, if you're in a short, anything below 20, 223, you may want to consider cutting your losses somewhere around here off of this line, because this bounce is going to be pretty significant if it hits it again. So if you're in this range, you may either want a DCA to pull your entry above it, or you're going to want to just cut your losses. So we may not even pass this area here, because that's the retest, right, of the neckline. So here, from this kind of inverse head and shoulder. So it's arguable that the neckline could also be, right, something like this. So, even if we fall down here, we could get a bounce around 26.5 as well, right? So, but this is kind of the zone that I'm watching. A break above this orange line is going to push us up to retest the 31K range. I don't know, guys. Like I said, I still think, this push right here, we had a gap fill, played out perfectly. This push right here, we have not had a gap fill. We need to come about halfway, which is about 25.2 to finish this gap fill. So if we push up further north, right, that might push this up a little bit. So that way your gap fill would be down into here. But to me, this does not satisfy that. So I'm still not good with it. So that leads me into ETH. ETH is kind of the same boat. Let me mute the harmonic one. I love my harmonic tracker, but it's got a lot going on, so it's a little harder to see. So let's go to the 1 hour on the ETH. So again, you can see just massive gap, right, to fill. From here, up to the peak, we would need to get to about here, about 1680. That's kind of what I've been calling for ETH. As far as our official drop, from the low, if you're anywhere below 1380, 1400 on a short, you're going to want to consider closing that if it gets down that low. So, because if you zoom out here, this is a pretty valid bottom line. You have a peak here, all along this way, right? So it's a super, super valid line. Could we break it? Sure. Will we? I don't think so. So if you've been riding a short lower than 1400, first off, you need to go through some risk management and learn to stop out or to flip those trades. But if you are, I would suggest you DCA to get your entry above this. Honestly, I think we could even consider a gap fill here and hit 1680 and drive even further north as well here. So yeah, so just keep an eye on your ETH. As far as the high goes, I was following this line. It didn't quite make it on this last stretch, but let me show you where I got this line. Let me go to the daily. So I kind of pulled it again like Bitcoin, right? I took this line here. So you had what was once support, right, acted as resistance. So you only need 2 peaks for a line. And it's not coincidence that this one hit perfectly and then rejected hard, because you also have this one, right? And you have this peak, right, which was fed off of this. So this was your 2 peak. So it's kind of a cross, right? That's what caused our crazy breakdown. So this line right here is still very, very valid, right? Because as we're bouncing around it, it's been holding support. And then this line is still very valid. So if we do get a break north, I could see high somewhere in the 22 range, 22.30. And then the channel of low is, depending when we hit it, right? Because if you go straight down, you're looking at 14. But if it takes some time, right? If it takes some time to get there, then it could be anywhere between 15, right? Somewhere up there. So just keep an eye on that. Always look at the 1 hour EMAs as well and kind of see where those are going. You can see we're pretty tangled right now. So we were below here, the 200. We broke above, fell below, broke above, fell below, right? And so it's just fighting it right now. So it's gonna be a pretty critical zone too. So yeah, it's kind of what I got for the market there. It's what I'm looking at. For me, I'm still staying short. I'm a gap fill trader, so it doesn't mean I'm taking shorts all the time. I'm waiting for push ups and then I ride the train down. So we have we have Aave. So let's take a look at our Aave. We're gonna go into the automated trading portion of it. Let's see how those have handled this movement. I can already tell that my short is probably doing okay. Oh, actually, it did get caught here. Oh, that's right. We did get caught. This was yesterday. Last night we saw this, so which is fine. It still hasn't got out. The DCA level is up here. I may move that down just a little bit, guys, because I don't think we need it above that yellow line. Let's see where 5% goes. Let's see if that drives it down. Just thinking. So it might be modifying more. Nope, actually, we're still good. Okay. So 5% would put the line here. I want to go a little higher than that. I'd like to get a little closer because I don't want to do it too soon. So let's try 6%. Let's see if that pushes it a little closer to this yellow line here. Yeah, there we go. I'm good with that. So whenever you're done setting your setting, again, you just delete your alert. You come in, you add your alert back. ATA Gambit. Aave short. There we go. I'm not currently running the longs. So this trade here that it's stuck in, I'm actually not stuck in that because I'm not running the longs as you see here. So so we don't need to evaluate that one. I'm good with still running the short on Aave, so I'm gonna keep it. So we'll go ahead and drop that one. Let's take a look at ETH. So if you remember ETH, when we looked at it, I think we were stuck between a long and a short, but it was really tight. So let's just see how that's played out. So looks like we're in a long. Actually, yeah, we're still in this long. Look at this, almost hit profit 1, 2, 3. So what's super annoying, guys, and you know, this is nothing to do with the ATA. This is strictly me, right? How I set it up. Because watch how if I were to enable DCA2, watch how this would have changed it. It would have hit perfectly and just been trading like a monster. But I restricted it. I only allowed it to do DCA1. And I'm still going to keep it like that because if a fall does come, I think it's too soon to add that DCA. I need to save that DCA for if we get back down into the 17 range. So I'm just going to let it ride. Let's take a look at the shorts. So shorts have done pretty well. 7 days, we made $70. We shorted this. We did a DCA here. We have a short here. This is how yesterday went. We had a short. You know, did one DCA, another short, and then it looks like it just closed this short here. So we're not in any ETH short. So now it's just going to look for a new one. So I'm going to let ETH go. As you guys know, that's my one that I allow to run nonstop. Let's take a look at LTC. So we did run LTC long and short. That is one that we added, I think, yesterday. So let's see how the longs have played out. Not bad, not bad. So one day we made $18. This is where we started it. We had a long, took another long, took another long, took a long, DCA'd out, took a long, right, out. This is a really good one. And it took another long that we're in right now, right? But I wouldn't even really justify it stuck because we haven't even DCA'd one. So good call so far in adding the LTC. Made about $20 on that one. Short is just killing it. I still haven't fixed that. Let's take a minute since we got like 12 minutes. Let's see if we can get this fixed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna add the indicator again. So you guys can follow along if you, if you guys need to fix it. Let me pull this off screen so I can put my information in there. So I'm just putting in my email, putting in my passphrase. So, all right. So now that we got that all set up and in, right? So this is the one that I just added. It always adds to the bottom, right? So keep that in mind. So now all we want to do is we want to copy the same settings that are here into the next one. So I know this is SARS, right? And the rest of it's default. This is all default. This is default except for that, right? Now keep in mind, I'm not in a trade, so I can make this whatever I want. It doesn't make a difference, right? So what I'm gonna do is, because I'm not in a trade, all I really care about, if you wanted to look at your stats, is the day that I started it, right? So 4/1/15/22. So 4/1/15/22 is what we'll remember. So let's go ahead and remove that one, and we're gonna make this one short LTC. I'm gonna do 1 DCA, and we're gonna do four, 1, 15, 22. And we'll set a time zone. Close trade on chart. And we'll let that finish. So the eyeball's spinning. Let's see if that fixes the stat. Still, it just doesn't like that date. That's so weird. It's got to be a trading view thing. Let's kick it forward a few days and see if that, for some reason it just doesn't like that date. We'll have to take a look at that. It's probably something trading views kicking back on us. It doesn't seem to be doing it on any of them other than LTC, which is so weird. Let's move it like really close and just see if that, yeah, it seems to like that. So let's see how far back we go before it doesn't like it. 410, 405. Yeah, it doesn't like that. So we'll just go to the 15th, guys. But I mean, you can see from the 15th it performs really well. Even in 13 days through these statistics that I ran, right? It looks like it just threw a buy, so I'm gonna have to reset it anyway. So because it thinks it's in a buy right now, and it's not, because I actually, yeah, it would be. Let me look at my logs, because I didn't delete my alert. Yeah, right. Look, see, so we're good. Note to self, right, for everybody. That's why when you're modifying, don't delete your alert, and it's still in. So it actually did. You can see the alert here. It did take that buy. So I'm good. I can just go ahead and start it. So we do have the settings here. You know, $317, 13 days. I've been running this one actually for a lot longer than that, so it's done really well. So let's go ahead and set up the alert here. ATA Gambit LTC short. All right, so that way at least we can have these stats reset. Keep in mind, guys, when you're modifying this, as long as what it's actually in matches what your exchange actually is doing, you're fine, right? You don't have to go think too difficult in it, right? All you care is, does this match? Does this last trade match? Doesn't even matter if this back end necessarily matches, right? Does this match what your exchange shows, right? Which it does. So we're good. So we got LTC all fixed. Let's take a look at, oh, I need to delete the old alert now. Don't forget to do that. You don't want two alerts going. That'll double your profit, or double your reduce your margin by half. This is why I always check this. This is why I title with ATA first in the beginning, because it puts it to the top of my alerts no matter what else I got going on, right? And so this is kind of my to-do list. I always check this and then decide how I need to move it. So we're gonna check Sol. That's our last one. Let's see how Sol's been doing. So far, guys, I mean, been killing it. So we are in an uptrend. Look at this. Even in an uptrend, I was thinking it might be stuck, right? Man, Sol has just been doing good. And look, I'm running a stop loss, guys. I've been running a stop loss for since I started this thing 12 days ago, and it has not stopped out. 12 days, not stopped out once. I mean, we can go all these trades. Look at this. 76 total trades. You can see the stats up here. So it's made $100 in 12 days just on this one. just trades like a freaking beast. This would have been a monster. Still kills me a little bit, but that's okay. Um, I'm gonna let it roll, guys, because I mean it's Friday. I typically like to run more anyways on Fridays, so I'm just gonna let it roll through. So I'm not gonna make any more adjustments. So I'm not gonna add anything. I already have 6 directions going. That's plenty for me for the weekend. So that's my setup for today. If you guys are following along, feel free. Let's take a look at how this news is continuing to impact it. So we are pumping up a little bit on this pre-market. So, the SPY is pushing up still. Let's take a look at the SPX one last time. So the SPX is testing the EMA here. Keep in mind, we still have this kind of like bull flag channel here that we are following right there. So if we cannot break this level here, then it's going to come down to retest this white EMA. If it does break above here, though, the move should be pretty significant on market open, but we'll see if it holds. And then like I said, if you guys are wanting to check out the economic events and stuff, you can come into BotJock here. Yeah. It's one of those situations where, you can see that the spending was here. They projected it to go down. It didn't go as much as they projected, but it didn't go more than what it was. So it's kind of like those bullish-ish situations, right? Which is interesting. I thought for sure that report would come out bearish, but we got a little bit of a bullish. So we'll see how that rocks the market. We're a lot of bullish patterns setting up, but then keep in mind Fridays are fake move Fridays. So what we may see is a market open where it drops really heavily, traps a bunch of contracts, and then rockets north, right? They like to do that, so that way they can trap the contracts. So just stay safe out there, guys. If you guys want to come into the room, we'll kind of hang out. We'll be reading, calling the market, trading a little bit today. And then, if you guys want to come in, you guys can sign up for free at botjock.com. And if you want to use the indicators, all this stuff that we're using within our room, you guys can sign up for the memberships. I did put out a TikTok that we are doing for the membership side of it, we're doing a 50% off special through Sunday. So if you use the coupon code, it's all caps BOTJOK, BOTJOK 23. That'll get you 50% off for 1 month. So that way we just want you guys to be able to come in and try it out and see if it's for you. So if you're looking to join the academy, we did extend the pre-sale price as well as the 10% discount also through Sunday. So if you guys are looking to join the academy to kind of learn through the weekend, we only have 50 spots on both of those. But the academy one is just all caps again, Academy 23. So just come on in, guys, and check it out. I think you guys will really enjoy it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off the stream here, and then we'll take a look at TikTok. Any questions?